I was sitting in my crib, watching the storm move across the city from my second-floor window. On the south side, a storm usually masked the sound of the static. I went to the basement to check the foundation of this 100-year-old house for flooding. That's when it happened. 3 loud cracks cut through the wind. I looked out and saw a young soul running through the yard across the street, screaming for help. At first, I thought a branch had snapped, that the storm had claimed a car or caught someone under a tree. I ran out my front door and saw what looked like a man laying face up in the gutter, the street already partially flooded. My wife was already on the line with the 12. We grabbed our raincoats and a flashlight, stepping out into the low. 2 other teenagers were standing over the body. One was moving like a ghost, quiet, motionless. The other was pacing back and forth, his voice breaking through the rain. "They shot my brother!" He started picking up his brother's belongings from the wet pavement, like he was trying to put a life back together that had already been shattered. I leaned over the wounded teen, Polo. I checked his wrist for a pulse. Nothing. I pressed my fingers against his neck, and just as I thought his frequency was gone, his whole body twitched. He gasped for air, fighting the Chicago atmosphere one last time. It was pitch black. The only light was a single street lamp and my flashlight reflecting off the puddles. My wife tried to find the wound with a towel, but the rain was too heavy. I unzipped his fleece jacket, and there it was, a single entry point in his right chest. No blood was even coming out yet, just white tissue. That's when I saw it, the hardware. A pipe sitting on the curb just feet away from the boy. I told the neighbor, "Stand over that, don't let nobody touch it." In this city, when emotions are high, the static can restart in a second. I wasn't gonna let another attack happen while I was around. I stayed close to Polo as he lay on his back, his arms spread wide and his knees bent, looking like Jesus on an invisible cross in the middle of Bronzeville. The crowd started gathering, yelling for the ambulance, yelling for the police. It felt like an eternity, but it had only been 5 minutes. I grabbed his hand again. I don't know if I said anything, but I patted his hand, looking at his face. His big brown eyes were wide open, staring up into the tree branches like he was afraid to close them and miss the last few seconds of his life. I looked down the block and saw the spotlight of a police SUV cutting through the rain. I waved my flashlight. I looked back at Polo one last time, hoping for a miracle, but I already knew. The motion was gone. Those big eyes were just staring into the rain. As a photographer, I'm used to documenting the news at the drop of a hat. Part of me wanted to run back inside and grab my camera, but a voice in my head told me, "You are human first and a journalist second." I didn't pick up my lens until the yellow tape was up and the blanket was laid over him. I finally took the photos, not because I wanted to, but because I needed a lens between me and the reality at my own front door.
Michael Raymond Patton Jr. The streets called him Polo. The booth called him Young Stacks. He wasn't born in the trenches. He was a Maywood baby, raised in the quiet of Bolingbrook. He was the kid in the back of the class, cracking jokes, the brother who called his baby sister the Little Princess. He was a rapper, a dreamer, a high school graduate. But 2014 was a cold year. Polo lost his mother, Von Kicha, and the grief pulled his frequency toward the city. He started making trips to the low to stay with family, trying to find a connection. He wanted to be a good person, but he was trying to survive on his own. He found his home on 51st and King Drive, 051 Young Money. You gotta understand the 051 frequency. It's a renegade set. MCs, GDs, BDs, and Stones all moving under one Y sign. They've been holding that block for 40 years, from the days of David Barksdale to the social media war. They are known as the most hated because they don't care who you are. They'll clap a goofy and backdoor a friend in the same breath. Polo was one of the guys, but he wasn't out there putting in work. He was a school kid, a member by association, but a rapper by heart. He was playing a dangerous game on a board where the pieces don't care if you're a civilian or a face card. June 30th, 2014, 10:40 p.m. A storm is raging over the 600 block of East 50th Place. Polo and a 15-year-old homie are walking through the shadows when a black slider rolls into view. Voices from the dark demand the hardware. A struggle breaks out, pride versus survival. In the middle of the rain, 2 shots cut through the howling wind. One hits the 15-year-old in the arm, the other hits Polo squarely in the chest. Vincent Johnson, a photographer and a father, was inside his home when he heard a sharp crack. He thought the storm had split a tree branch until he heard the cries for help. He rushed outside, expecting to find someone pinned by wood. Instead, he found a 17-year-old boy he'd never seen before, lying in a puddle, the pouring rain washing over his face. Johnson knelt in the water. He took Polo's hand. He watched the boy gasping for air, fighting for a frequency that was fading fast. "Hang in there," Johnson whispered. "Help is coming." For minutes that felt like hours, a stranger held the hand of a dying boy, while 2 other teens stood by, paralyzed by the static. By the time the paramedics arrived at 11:08 p.m., the movement stopped.
Killing one of them happened about 10:30 last night. This was in the 600 block of East 50th Place on the south side in the Hyde Park neighborhood. Eyewitness News reporter Sarah Schulte has the story of a neighborhood resident who came to the boy's side before he died.
A bit of crime tape remains on the 600 block of East 50th Place. It is the only reminder that 2 teenage boys were shot here last night, one fatally.
He was right there.
For Vincent Johnson, last night's crime remains vivid in his mind. The 40-year-old resident was inside his home watching and listening to the thunderstorm.
We heard 3 loud cracks, which we thought was a tree branch that had broken, and then we heard some yelling, and so we were already looking out to see, make sure it didn't fall on, my car.
What Johnson heard wasn't a tree cracking, but gunshots. He walked outside and saw a body laying in the flooded street. 17-year-old Michael Patton had been shot in the chest. Johnson's wife called 911 while he went to help Patton.
We were waiting for the ambulance or the police or somebody to show up. I was grabbing his hand and, telling him to hang in there, and ambulance is coming.
Patton didn't make it. He died on the scene. Johnson says what he believed to be Patton's 15-year-old brother was shot in the arm. Police say the boys were talking to people in a van when someone inside the vehicle opened fire.
Just a very quiet neighborhood. I've been staying here for a little over 8 years, and I never seen nothing like this before.
Residents say shootings don't happen in this quiet tree-lined block, one that is 4 blocks from President Obama's house, well-lit and with homes being rehabbed.
The dream of young Stacks ended right there on a tree-lined street. just 5 blocks from the president's house. The streets don't stay quiet for long. The word from the low, confirmed by the deep archives on Reddit, is that Lil Boo from 600 was the one in that van. A face card from the Sixes, taking a score against Young Money, not caring that the target was a kid who just wanted to rap. No one was ever charged. The rain washed the scene clean. But the picture Vincent Johnson saw that night, the police flashbulbs lighting up a 17-year-old body while a relative jogged away in tears, that picture is permanent. Rest up, Polo. Another dream scooned before it could bloom.